beta, what are redox reactions? Those reactions in which oxidation and oxidation and reduction occurs simultaneously. You all know, अगर दोनों occurring हो रही हैं, both are occurring, oxidation is also occurring and reduction is also occurring, then it is called oxidation and reduction reactions. Then see, so what are beta oxidation reactions? See how to define oxidation and how to define reduction. See, oxidations are what? Oxidation is what? Addition of oxygen. Addition of oxygen is known as oxidation. Let's say we have copper. Let's say we have 2 times of copper plus oxygen if I add in copper. So this will give you Cu2O. Cu2O, CuO. This will give you CuO. है ना? If I balance this, so addition of oxygen to copper is known as oxidation. है ना? So what we will call here oxidation of copper. This is what? Oxidation of copper. See? But in reduction, if someone does reduction, here, removal of oxygen beta. Removal of oxygen is known as reduction. Let's see, we have HgO. If I heat this HgO, I will get Hg plus half times of O2. You know? So from HgO, oxygen is removed. From HgO, oxygen is removed. So here we will call what? Reduction of HgO. Reduction of what? Hg. Reduction of what? Hg. Reduction हो रही है Hg की. See? Sorry. So addition of oxygen is known as oxidation. Removal of oxygen is known as reduction. Simple. Second one, see, oxidation में देखें, removal of hydrogen. Let's say we take an example, removal of hydrogen. Let's say 2 times of HCl will give you H2 plus Cl2. And both are gases. Hydrogen and chlorine both are gases. And if we have this, so removal of hydrogen from HCl, and HCl says Cl2 bana, removal of hydrogen. So this is known as what? Oxidation of HCl. Oxidation of what? HCl. Oxidation of what? HCl. And or we can say second part in reduction, or we can say addition of hydrogen. Addition of hydrogen. And we have learned this addition of hydrogen. Let's say we have CH2 double bond CH2 and we add hydrogen in the presence of nickel, palladium, platinum. And hydrogenation reactions. You have learned hydrogenation reactions of alkene. If you want to add hydrogen on alkene, if you add hydrogen on alkene, you will get CH3. Both hydrogen atoms will add on double bond, break the double bond, both side hydrogen are added. So this is known as reduction of ethene. This is known as what? Reduction of ethene. Check. Simple it is. So removal of hydrogen is known as oxidation, and addition of oxygen is known as oxidation, and removal of oxygen is known as reduction, and addition of hydrogen is known as reduction. Done. Little tricky it is to learn. See, addition of electronegative element. Addition of electronegative element is also, if I add here addition of electronegative atom, let's say I add here PCl3 के अंदर I add Cl2, I will get PCl5. 3 plus 2 5. So Cl2 is an electronegative element because high electronegativity it has. So if I add Cl2 in PCl5, this is known as what? Oxidation. This is known as oxidation. See? So here what we are doing? Oxidation of PCl5, PCl3. Oxidation of PCl3. Similarly here also, if I remove electronegative element here, removal of electronegative atom. If I remove electronegative atom, let's say SO2Cl2. If I heat SO2Cl2, I will get SO2 plus Cl2. We have learned this thionyl chloride. Remember SO2Cl2 SNI reaction? SO2Cl2 SNI reaction we have learned in haloalkanes. Thionyl chloride. So this is also what? Reduction of SO2Cl2 बेटा. इसको हम thionyl chloride भी कहते हैं. Thionyl chloride. Name of this. Thionyl chloride. Then these were old methods, old definition of oxidation and reduction. Then it came the new method of oxidation and reduction, which was known as, let's see, the new method of oxidation reduction came, which was, see, oxidation was called to be removal of electrons. Removal of electrons. Let's say I have sodium. Sodium will give me Na positive and 1 electron is lost. So this loss of electron. So metals are always, what they do? Loss of electrons. So metal has lost 1 electron. This loss of electrons will show me what? Oxidation. This will show me oxidation. So always remember, in oxidation state in oxidation will change from 0 to +1. This means whenever we have increase in oxidation state, that is known as oxidation. Whenever we have increase in oxidation state, that is known as oxidation. And this definition was the modern definition. This definition was the modern definition, new definition of oxidation and reduction. Understanding or not? Similarly, here also, if I want to do reduction, reduction means what? Gain of electrons. Reduction means what? Gain of electrons. Let's say I have half of Cl2, 1 electron I gained, and I made Cl minus. And so this gaining of electrons in reactants. And this is what? Gain of electrons. If I am gaining electrons in reactant, this is known as what? Reduction. This is known as what? Reduction. देखें. So in reduction, what will happen? Oxidation state will decrease. From Cl, which was 0 oxidation state, to Cl minus, which was -1 ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट, है ना. सो ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट will decrease in oxidation state means what? Reduction. अगर कहीं पर ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट इज इंक्रीजिंग, दैट इज नोन एज ऑक्सीडेशन. इफ इट इज डिक्रीजिंग, दैट इज नोन एज रिडक्शन. सिंपल. Understanding or not? Write yes or no in the chat box. Write yes or no in the chat box. Simple these definitions are, है ना. Simple these definitions are very simple. See? So see, whenever we have addition of oxygen, that is oxidation. Removal of oxygen, opposite of addition is removal of oxygen is reduction, है ना. Addition of hydrogen, है ना, that is reduction. Removal of hydrogen, oxidation. So you have to learn by this method. Addition of oxygen is oxidation. Addition of hydrogen is reduction. Opposite is, you all know. Opposite you all know. Addition of oxygen, oxidation. Addition of hydrogen, reduction. Opposite you know, है ना. Addition of electronegative element is oxidation. Opposite you know. Removal of electronegative will be reduction. Will be reduction, है ना. See, oxidation state increase करने पे oxidation state oxidation होता, और oxidation state decrease करने पे reduction होता, है ना. So this is the summary which will help you to learn. Which will help you to learn. Adding of oxygen, oxidation. Adding of hydrogen, reduction. Opposite will be removal of oxygen, reduction. Removal of hydrogen, oxidation. है ना. See this very important beta. Similarly here, adding of electronegative atom, see, adding of electronegative atom will be oxidation. Similarly, removal of electronegative atom will be reduction. Done na? So these are the definitions of oxidation and reduction. Next, we will see what is oxidizing agent and what is reducing agent. See. What is oxidizing agent and reducing agents? Agents. These are called what? Agents. See, oxidizing agents are those agents also known as oxidant. You will write OA. If somewhere it is written OA, you will come to know it is oxidizing agent. Similarly, reducing agent को हम लोग कहते हैं reductant और RA, reducing agents. है ना? What are oxidizing agent? This will oxidize other species. This will oxidize other species and itself undergo reduction. मतलब my name will be made by my work. My name will be made by my work. है ना? So if I am an oxidizing agent, I will oxidize others and itself I will reduce. If I am a teacher, I will give knowledge to other and itself my knowledge is decreasing. Not decreasing, it is also increasing. है ना? So same way, oxidizing agents are those agents which will oxidize others and itself they will reduce. Oxidizing others मतलब दूसरों के oxidation number को increase करना और अपने वाले oxidation number को decrease करना. समझ रहे कि नहीं? Similarly, we have reducing agents. Reducing agents, what they do by their work, they will reduce, they will reduce other species, they will reduce other species and itself undergo oxidation, So these two things you should remember for oxidizing and reducing agents. These two things you should always remember. Oxidizing and reducing. Let's see with an example. This example will teach you everything. Question C. Let's say I have SnCl2, tin chloride, and I have FeCl3. From this, I made what? FeCl2 plus SnCl4. Done? So see in this example, SnCl2, FeCl3 to give you FeCl2 as SnCl. So here I am writing with red oxidation number of every species, है ना? So chlorine you all know, all chlorine is an halogen, will gain one electron to become -1. So Sn will be how much? +2. +2 and chlorine 2 minus here will give me total net charge 0. Here also check this iron will be +3 oxidation state here and chlorine also -1 here. Then in this iron chloride Fe, this is ferric chloride, this is ferrous chloride. You have learned between OUS and Nic. OUS will give me lower oxidation state and IC will give me higher oxidation state. So this is lower oxidation state FeCl2 and ferric chloride is higher oxidation state, that is +3 oxidation state. Similarly, SnCl4 will be +4 oxidation state. Done? देखें. Now from here you come to know that SnCl2 is from here what it is doing, it is going for oxidation. It is oxidation. And FeCl3 to FeCl2 is what? From +3 to +2 is decrease in oxidation number. This is reduction. See? So increase in oxidation number from 2 to 4 is known as oxidation, and decrease in oxidation number from 3 to 2 is known as reduction. So see here, SnCl2, what it is doing? SnCl2, it is reducing FeCl3 from FeCl3 to FeCl2 and itself going for oxidation. If it is reducing FeCl3, अगर सामने वाले को reduce कर रहा है तो SnCl2 act as what? Reducing agent. Similarly, FeCl3 will oxidize SnCl2 to SnCl4. Therefore, FeCl3 is acting as what? Oxidizing agent. बताएं ये आपको समझ आया कि नहीं? बताएं आपको ये समझ आया कि नहीं? सिंपल सी बात, आपको समझ आई कि नहीं? So SnCl2, what it is doing? It is reducing FeCl3 to FeCl2, decreasing the oxidation number of iron from +3 to +2. Similarly, FeCl3, what it is doing? It is oxidizing SnCl2 to SnCl4. Then देखें, simple it is. Write yes or no in the chat. Write yes or no in the chat. Sure. So see, now you know oxidation state or oxidation number. Both are literally equal. Both are equal. So what is an oxidation state of any atom? है ना? See, oxidation state and oxidation number was given by scientist Oswald. Was given by Oswald scientist Peter. है ना? So what is the difference between, what is the definition of this? What is the definition of oxidation number or oxidation state? See, see, oxidation state is the hypothetical. See, oxidation state is the hypothetical or mathematical charge. It is not the real charge, it is a mathematical charge on any atom, or a molecule, on any atom or a molecule which is arised when all other atoms are removed as, when all other atoms are removed as ions. So oxidation number or oxidation state of any element is not the real. It's not the real charge. And we have written +1, +2, +3 on the atoms, but this is not the real charge. It means what? It means that, let's say I have H2SO4. You all know H2SO4? Name of H2SO4 is sulfuric acid. If I remove all the atoms except this sulfur, if I remove hydrogen and oxygen, what should be the charge on sulfur? What should be the charge on sulfur if I remove hydrogen and oxygen from these sulfuric acid? So let's say I remove here 2 hydrogen positive. Hydrogen I can remove by positive only, H positive. So if I remove hydrogen from this sulfuric acid, I remove 2H positive, I will get what? SO4, and left charge will be 2 minus, because 2 positive gone, 2 minus should be left to make it balance. Again from here, if I remove 4 oxygen, 2 minus. If I remove here 4 oxygen, 2 minus. So total charge gone is -8. Total charge gone is how much? -8. So -8 gone, +8 will be there. +8 it will give, -8 will be gone. So lastly sulfur will be left, 4 oxygen gone. So sulfur will be left, -2 was earlier, and +8 by oxygen. +8 by oxygen, because oxygen -8 gone, +8 is remaining. So sulfur lastly will have how much charge? +6 charge. So this is known as what? Oxidation state or oxidation number of sulfur. This is known as what? Oxidation state or oxidation number of sulfur. Therefore, it is told to be that oxidation state of sulfur in H2SO4 is how much? +6. You all know? You all know this? How to find also, you can find it by X method or by writing the structure. You can find this oxidation number by X method or writing the structure. How to find by X method? You can write sulfur as X, hydrogen will be +1, H2SO4, hydrogen will be +1, oxygen -2. Done. So see, 2 into +1 plus sulfur is how much? X plus X plus 4 into -2 will give you total charge on H2SO4 is 0. 0. So here from here calculate X, it will come how much? 8 minus 2 to be +6. Similarly, you can find by structure also. So if you make H2SO4 like this, yesterday also I have told you, if you have broken these more. अगर ये वाला पहला वाला bond break किया, oxygen is more electronegative than sulfur, so oxygen will take -2 because 2 bonds broken, covalent bonding, so sulfur will become +2. Here also +2, here also oxygen -2, and ये वाला break किया, here oxygen only one bond -1, here also -1, sulfur +1, and again sulfur +1. So total charge on sulfur will be +2, +2, +1, +1. Total +6. Same method, beta. These are two methods to find the oxidation state of what? Of any element in a compound, of any atom in a compound. Sorry. So with this, we will see some rules which we have written. For finding oxidation state. We have learned these rules. First rule, see, any element, if any element is there in its natural elemental state. Elemental state is that state which we can get directly from our nature. If any element it is there in natural state, its oxidation state will be 0. Its oxidation state will be 0. Example we take. Example like hydrogen, chlorine, oxygen, O3. These are all elemental state. Diamond you can get down beneath the earth. Graphite you can get somewhere written diamond, graphite, fullerenes. Fullerenes have 0 oxidation state. Always remember. Red phosphorus, black phosphorus. Sulfur is of 2 types, 3 types. Monoclinic sulfur, rhombic sulfur. All the noble gases, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon. See, all these will have how much oxidation state? 0 oxidation state, because these are present in natural form these are present naturally in the earths. You can get them naturally. So inka oxidation state is 0. They are not forming any bond with anyone. Noble gases do not react with anyone. Highly unreactive. Second one, see. Second rule. First rule you know. First rule you now know. Second rule, right? Second rule, see. If we have metal plus Hg, metal plus Hg is known as metal amalgam. If we have metal amalgam, their oxidation state of metal is 0. Let's say we write sodium in Hg. So here oxidation state of sodium 0, mercury also 0. We have zinc in Hg. Here also zinc 0, mercury. Done. Third one, see. In any compound, if you see, if any compound in any compound, check, more electronegative atom will have negative oxidation state. है ना? If you have more electronegative, it will try to shift the electrons towards itself and it will have negative oxidation state. है ना? If you have if you have less electronegative atom, it will have positive oxidation state. So between two atoms, if one is more electronegative, other is less electronegative, more electronegative atom will try to have negative oxidation state, more negative oxidation state. You know? This is the criteria. Now you know electronegativity, you know, yesterday we have learned about Pauling scale, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine. You know? So you know lithium was 1.0, beryllium 1.5, and 0.5 jumping you can do 0.5 jumping, 0.5 jumping, 0.5 jumping, 0.5 and yeah 0.5. Last fluorine is 4. Right? So you have to remember. So in journal I am writing here in generally how to find which one will have negative oxidation state and which one will have positive oxidation state between two atoms. Let's see. Fluorine is more electronegative, so fluorine will be heavy, so it can take all the electrons towards itself. So first will be fluorine, then oxygen. Between chlorine and nitrogen, both are 3.0. You all know NCl. Yesterday we remember, but you can do chlorine as more electronegative than nitrogen. You should remember this because these are literally same. What about differences? Next we have, after this you remember bromine, then bromine के बाद है 2.8, then you have iodine science teacher. See, out of science teacher all these were 2.5, but you have to give more preference to iodine, negative. Iodine is more electronegative than sulfur than carbon. है ना? So in the same electronegativity also you can have a preference. You can have a preference. Last one is phosphorus and hydrogen. Both are 2.1, but phosphorus is more electronegative, little more electronegative than hydrogen. You can remember. है ना? This is happening due to polarization effect. है ना? Polarization effect के साथ हो रहा है. Sizes difference. This you have to learn. Done. So this was your third rule for finding the oxidation state. Fourth rule, see. Fourth rule, see. Alkali metals. You all know alkali metals will show which oxidation state, which is +1. Alkaline earth metals will show which oxidation state, always +2 with. They will show always +1 and +2 with high electronegative atoms. है ना? If you have high electronegative atoms with them, let's say example NaCl, है ना? You have MgCl2, है ना? So sodium will always show +1 because it is with high electronegative atom. Chlorine -1, chlorine always -1. Magnesium +2, chlorine always -1. Understanding or not? So this is fifth part. See, for hydrogen we have done what? For hydrogen, let's say we have simple hydrogen, elemental form, it is oxidation state 0. If we have atomic form, and a simple, if we have hydrogen with electronegative atom, let's say example we take HCl. So here the oxidation state will be +1. But remember, hydrogen can be in another form also, hydrogen with less electronegative atoms. And if I have hydrogen with less electronegative atoms, those are known as hydrides. Those are known as hydrides, and hydrides have oxidation state -1. Let's say we have lithium aluminium hydride. So here hydrogen will be how much oxidation state? -1. Lithium will be +1. Aluminium will be how much? Calculate. 1 plus x plus 4 into -1 gives you 0. So x came out to be 4 minus 1 plus 3. This was the question asked in your IP board. This was the question in IPE. And every one of you did wrong. Made hydrogen +1. Understand beta, here lithium is called what? Here hydrogen is what? Hydride. Lithium, aluminium, hydride. Where you have hydrides, you will get -1 oxidation state. Done. Next you have for oxygen. For oxygen, you know, simple you, if you have oxygen as oxides, it will be O2 minus. है ना? If you have oxygen as O2 elemental form, if you have oxygen simple elemental form, it will be 0 oxidation state. See, usually oxygen exists as oxides -2 oxidation state. For some cases, you all know oxygen will have peroxide. peroxide भी होता है, आपको पता है. peroxide में क्या होता? O2 2 minus means oxygen will have 2 minus on 2 oxygen. Example we have H2O2 peroxide. We all know peroxide bond. So this bond is known as peroxide bond. This bond is known as peroxide bond. Understand beta? This bond is known as peroxide bond. देखें. Last one, see, you have superoxides also. In superoxide, O2 minus charge. है ना? O2 minus means on 2 oxygen you have total minus. So half here, half here. Total will be how much? -1. Half of -1 minus half of. है ना? So here if someone asks oxidation state on oxygen will be -half. And here it will be plus -half total on 1 oxygen. Check. है ना? यहाँ पर ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट -half है peroxide में एंड सुपर ऑक्साइड में. peroxide में -1 है और सुपर ऑक्साइड में -half है ना? There are some other cases also. Let's say I have O2F2. So fluorine is more electronegative than oxygen. Will take electron. Oxygen will become positive here, beta. Here oxygen, oxidation state on oxygen is +1. Here it is +1 beta. Let's say one more example, OF2. Here oxidation state on oxygen is +2. Some examples, this, let's say O3 minus. This is known as ozonoid. You have done in ozonolysis. We have done this in ozonolysis of alkenes. Ozonoid. We formed ozonoid in ozonolysis. See, here oxidation state on 1 oxygen is how much? -1/3. -1/3. याद रखें ये. Don't worry beta, I will give you notes. है ना? Write yes or no in the chat box. Yes no लिख दें. So oxygen we can get in these many oxidation states. So see, Last seventh rule I am writing here. See beta seventh, which is the important of all the rules. See, sum of oxidation state of all atoms, sum of oxidation state of all atoms in a compound. If a compound I am taking and I am adding all the oxidation state of all the atoms will be equal to the total charge on that compound. Will be equal to total charge on that compound. है ना? ये आपको याद किया. Let's say we have HCO3 minus. This is one example. Take HCO3 minus, है ना? Let's say I have HCO3. So in these, what it is telling, oxidation state of hydrogen plus oxidation state of carbon plus 3 times the oxidation state of oxygen is equal to what? Total charge. Total charge on HCO3 minus is -1. Understanding or not? Understanding or not, beta? So the sum of oxidation state of all atoms in a compound will be equal to total charge of that atom. Total charge on that atom. Let's say I have example one more. If I take, क्या देखते हैं? If I take, let's say H2 HClO4. Let's say I take HClO4. Let's say I take ClO4 minus. Done. So here also oxidation state of chlorine plus oxidation state of plus 4 times the oxidation state of chlorine plus 4 times the oxidation state of oxygen will be equal to what? Total charge on the species, which is minus. Understanding or not? So in this way, you have to find by X. You can put X and you can find. Done. So this is the 7th rule. 8th rule, see, some elements will show some elements shows fixed oxidation state. मतलब their oxidation is always fixed, and some will show variable oxidation state. You all know. है ना? कुछ तो बहुत सारे बदल लेते हैं अपने. They can lose also, they can gain also. Like oxygen has -2 also, -1 also. But some has a property to show only one oxidation state. Let's say we have example, you all know. If I write here group number, if I am writing here group number 1, if I am writing here group number 1, group number 1, you all know we have what? Group number 1, lithium, sodium, लीना की रूबी से friendship, है ना? And if I have in this beryllium, magnesium, group number 2 will beryllium, magnesium, strontium, barium and radium. Done. So see, in group number 1, you all know they have +1 oxidation state. Group number 2 will have +2 oxidation state. This is fixed oxidation state. These oxidation state are fixed. See. But for group number 13, group number 14, group number 15, group number 16, group number 17, check. ग्रुप नंबर 13 में क्या था? बोरॉन, एल्यूमिनियम, गैलियम, इंडियम, थैलियम. 14 में कार्बन, सिलिकॉन, जर्मेनियम, lead and tin and lead. Then you have nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth, you have say tellurium and polonium, you have fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine and astatine. है ना? So see beta, these oxidation state of these groups will come in a range, है ना? Therefore we write these as in a range. You all know range, domain and range in mathematics, you know. So what they can do, they can have +3 to -3 oxidation state. So they can have +3, you can jump one, +3 to +1, 0, and also they can have +3, +1, 0, -1 and -3. So these are possible oxidation states of group number 13. See. देखें. Similarly, here also I am writing in a term of integration. It can go in a range from -4 to +4. Group number 14. It can go from -4, it can lose 4 electron or it can gain 4 electrons. So it can show +4, +2, it can show you 0, -2 and -4. Similarly, here also group number 15 will go from -3 to +5. -3 to +5. These are known as oxidation state range. है ना? See, group number 16 will go from +-2 to +6. And last group number 17 will go from -1 to +7. -1 to +7. है ना? Simple this is. ठीक, मतलब ये -3 हो सकता है, -1 हो सकता है, 0 हो सकता है, +1 हो सकता है, +3 हो सकता है और +5 हो सकता है ना? ऑड इवन करके चलना है. It can be -2, it can be 0, it can be +2, it can be +4, it can be +6. Similarly, here it can be -1, 0, +1, +3, +5 and +7. So these are possible oxidation state of groups of 13, 14 p block elements. P block elements. Check. Done. Simple it is. Simple it is. You can have a screenshot and you can see. You can take a screenshot of this. ये वाला दिख रहा है आपको लास्ट वाला? Can you see? Group number 17. Done. So from here you can see all these which are group number 17 can show from what? -1 to +7. These one can show ये वाले इधर साथ वाले group number 16 है ना, ऑक्सीजन, सल्फर, सिलेनियम, टेलूरियम, पोलोनियम can show -2 to +6. बेटा focus on the class, focus. देखें. So these are known as variable oxidation state, है ना? Group number 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 will have variable oxidation state, but group number 1 and 2 will have fixed oxidation state. Done? So see beta, how to find oxidation state we will learn. We will learn today. See here. See, finding oxidation state is very easy. Finding oxidation state is very easy. First method you know, which is I have told you, by X method. Use by X, use X and then find. Second method is known as structure method. है ना? This structure method is the best method, है ना? It is never to be wrong, है ना? कभी गलत नहीं होता है. It can never be wrong. So you can go by structure method if you know the structure of that compound. If you can make the structure of that compound. If you don't know how what is the structure of the compound, you can go by X method. You can go by X method. देखिए, let's say we have yesterday only we have done CO2, है ना? So find the oxidation state. Find oxidation state of carbon in CO2. Write the answer in chat box. Write the answer in chat box. Write the answer in chat box. 4 plus 4, है ना? Simple it is. You can make carbon as X. So X plus, you can make carbon as X plus 2 times of oxidation state of oxygen is how much? -2, because oxygen is -2, and oxygen are always oxide, always, most probably oxygen are oxides. So -2 will be equal to total charge on the compound. Total charge on the compound 0, है ना? So therefore X came out to be here how much? +4. है ना? Similarly with the structure also, CO2 you can break structure also. See, if I break these two bonds, so यहाँ oxygen is more electronegative than carbon, so it will become -2. Carbon will become +2. If I break these two bonds, it will become -2. Carbon will become +2. Therefore, carbon will be, oxidation state of carbon is +4. Then done. Simple. So let's go to next questions. One by one we will solve question. See, I am writing the compound and I am underlining the atom for which oxidation state you have to find. Okay? So first one is NaBH4. You have to find oxidation state of boron. Second one I am writing here. Find answers. S2O72 minus. You have to find for sulfur. Next one, K2Cr2O7. Find for chromium. Fourth, KMnO4. Find for manganese. Fifth one, C6H12O6. Find for carbon. Sixth one, OSO4, osmium tetraoxide. OS stand for osmium. You have to find for OS. Seventh one, Pb3O4. Find for Pb. Eighth one, you all know Pb3O4 is known as what? Red lead. And red lead is used where? In Sindoor. Sindoor, you all know? Sindoor, where is it is used? You are at your homes, you can know. S4O62 minus. Find for sulfur. Let's say we have Na2SO4. C2H4. Last one. Last one, find for N2. Nitrogen. चले, start solving. 10 questions are given to you. 10 questions are given. Find the oxidation state of the underlying compound. Question is, find the oxidation state of underlying atom in the following list. Sure. You can write answers in the chat box. Chat box is open. Sure. Let's see, you can solve. Oh. See, beta, these questions we have solved in class also. See, all these questions we have solved in class. Again, I am teaching you all redox. थर्ड वन क्या है? +6 है. फिफ्थ वन 0 है. Why fifth one is 0? Wrong. Wrong. चले. Should we solve one by one? See, nitrogen is in elemental form, so nitrogen will be 0. So answer of nitrogen will be how much? 0. देखते ही पता करना है. See, NaPH4 sodium borohydride है ना. Hydrogen is how much here? -1. Sodium always alkali metal +1. So boron you take X. So 1 plus X plus 4 into 4 times of -1 will give you 0. है ना. So X will come here, check, +3. X will come here +3. Similarly, second one also, sulfur take X, oxygen is -2. So 2 times of X, 2 times of X plus 7 times of -2 oxygen will give you total charge how much here? -2. है ना? See, H2O7 2 minus, H2O7 2 minus, है ना? So what we have learned, oxidation state 2 times the oxidation state of sulfur plus 7 times the oxidation state of oxygen will be equal to how much? Total charge. Total charge is minus. This we have taken x. So 2x plus 7 into oxygen state of oxygen is how much? Minus 2, as oxygen is oxide. Minus 2 will give me minus 2. So 2x minus 14 is minus 2. X is equals to how much from here? Plus 6. Done? Simple. So second answer is how much? Plus 6. Third answer check. First answer plus 3. Second answer plus 6. Third one check. K2Cr2O7. K2Cr2O7 also. If I write here K2Cr2O7, see, potassium is +1, oxygen -2. 2 into +1 plus 2 into X plus 7 into -2 will give me total charge 0. Then from here it will come how much? 14 minus 2 to be 12. 2x is equals to be 6. This is also 6. K2Cr27 is also 6. KMNO4 क्या होता है? Always remember it is 7 plus 1, 4 2 minus 8, 4 2 -8, -8 में से 1 गया, -7, that will go that side, +7. Similarly, C6H12O6, many of you have done wrong. Many of you have done wrong. Let's see. C6H12O6 देखें. See? C6H12O6 को क्या कहते हैं? ग्लूकोज. क्या कहते हैं भाई? ग्लूकोज. Take carbon as X, take hydrogen. Hydrogen will be how much? +1 and oxygen will be -2. So 6x plus 12 into +1 plus 6 into -2 will give you total charge 0. So 6x plus 12 minus 12 is equals to 0. So 6x is equals to 0 and x is equals to 0. So fifth answer is how much? 0. Fifth answer is how much? 0. Varsha is correct and Nihar is also correct. है ना? Fifth answer 0 है भाई. Check for sixth one. Sixth one, osmium O4. OSO4. Take osmium as X. X plus 4 into -2 will give you 0. X is equals to +8. +8 oxidation state. +8 oxidation state. Similarly for PB3O4 भी check करें. PB3O4. See, this is very important. PB3O4. Always remembers yours. Sindoor is very important in life. Remember. PB3O4 देखें. Red lead, also known as red lead. है ना? See, let's say I take for lead to be X. So 3x plus 4 into -2 will give you 0. 3x will give me how much? +8. +8. है ना? So x will be how much? 8/3. But this is not the answer. This is the average. This is what? This is average oxidation state. मतलब सभी का 3x का मतलब 3 lead, 3 leads. 3 leads means 1 lead, 2 lead and 3 lead. And he is finding me the average of all the 3. He is telling me that 3x total charge on 3 lead. Total charge on 3 lead should be +8. +8. +8 होना चाहिए. You all know lead which is below what? Carbon, silicon, germanium and SN and tin. So you all know the range of these oxidation state are from what to what? The range of these oxidation states are carbon wala, ये wala, -4 to +4. So they can have these many oxidation states. So if I want to make +8 from here, how I can do? If I want to make +8, adding 3, which is from -4 to +4. So I can make by adding +2, +2, +4. This can be one possibility or not. Check. है ना? Another possibility can we see? I can add +4, +4, +2. This will be 8 plus 2, 10. This is not possible. है ना? See, lead you have how many types? +2 and +4. Or simple lead can be 0, elemental lead. And so you have these many types of lead. And you want +8 to be total. You want your total to be +8. If you want total of yours to be +8, so you can have this combination only, +2, +2 and +4. So 3 leads can be total +8 when you have lead, lead and lead Pb3O4. lead, lead and O4. 1, 2, 3, 4. चेक. ये वाला तो नहीं हो सकता है, पर Pb3O4 can be when you have 2 lead as +2 oxidation state and 1 lead as +4 oxidation state. देखें, 2 lead as +2 oxidation state and 1 lead as +4 oxidation state. So I can write Pb3O4 as what? PbO whole twice 2 and PbO2. PbO2. So in this Pb3O4, this is known as mixed oxide. This is known as mixed oxide. It has 2 types of oxidation state in them. It has 2 types of oxidation state. One with +2, one with +4. This only will come in exam. Most probably. And a high probability that these question will come, where you have 2 types of oxidation states. One more. चले, डन बेटा. Simple this is. Similarly, find for Fe3O4. Similarly, एक और करेंगे. Here also find Na2H2O4. Here find this one. 2 plus x plus 4 into -2 will give you 0. X will be +6. So here sulfur will be +6. Check for ninth one. Ninth one only left C2H4 left. See, for C2H4 देखें, you have C2H4. C2H4 name you all know. Name you all know. Ethene. C2H4. Out of carbon and hydrogen, which one will have negative charge? Out of carbon and hydrogen, which will have negative charge? See, electronegativity of hydrogen is 2.1, but of carbon is 2.5. So which one will have negative charge? More electronegative will have more electronegative charge. So यहाँ पर अगर इसको ब्रेक करते तो यहाँ -1 आता, इसको ब्रेक करते +1 आता, इसको ब्रेक करते -1 आता, इसको ब्रेक करते +1 आता। इसको भी करो, +1 -1 +1 -1, डन। देखें, सिंपल। Then, so this carbon will be how much? This carbon will be -2 and this carbon will be also -2. अब इन दोनों को we can't break because these are symmetric, same carbon carbon, है ना? No one more, no one less, है ना? So here oxidation state of carbon will be -2. This remember better. Oxidation state of carbon will be -2. Similarly, do for CH4. Write the answer for CH4. Hydrogen will be +1, carbon -1. Here also, here also, here also. Oxidation state of carbon will be how much? -4. -4 in CH4. Done? So with this, we have completed our these 10 questions of finding the oxidation state of atoms. Simple these are. See, but always remember, whenever you have average oxidation state or whenever you have fractional oxidation state, whenever oxidation state comes in fraction, like 8/3, 7/3, है ना? Then you have to go to that atom and you have to divide the total charge. Let's say we have done for Pb3O4. So we have divided +2, +2, +4. So whenever you have fractional oxidation state or whenever you have, so some examples of fractional oxidation state I will write here. Examples of fractional oxidation state. Fractional oxidation state. Like example first is C3O2. So C3O2 is known as carbon suboxide. So here oxygen is, here the carbon in between is 0. If I remove these two oxygen, this will be -2, this will be +2, this will be +2, this will be -2. So this carbon is +2, this carbon is 0, this carbon is also +2. So from the X method, you can do 3 times of X plus 2 into -2 gives you 0. 3x is equals to +4. So if 3x is equals to +4, we can add of 3 carbon, +2, 0, and +2 will give you +4. Just you need to understand that all the carbon are not same. Anna, all the carbon are not same. But if I want to have fraction, average of all the carbon, it will be 4/3. It will be 4/3, 1.33. If I have average. If they ask for every carbon, separately, you can have 2 plus 2 carbons and 1 0. But if they ask average oxidation state, it will be how much? Plus 4/3. Average oxidation state will be plus 4/3. Similarly, example, if I give you Br3O8, see 3x plus 8 into -2 will give you 0. 3x will be how much? Plus 16. So 3x will be plus 16. How we can make 3x plus 16? You should know the structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 oxygen. See Br3O8, 8 oxygen I have drawn. 8 oxygen I have drawn. Check oxidation state on every Br will be how much? Oxygen will be always -2. Every oxygen will be -2. See here on Br it will be -2, -2, -2 plus 6. Here on Br it will be -2, -2 here plus 4 and here also plus 6. Total will be how much? 6, 6, 12 plus 4, 16. Understanding? So 3x or 3Br will be total how much charge? 16 charge. This is known as what? Fractional oxidation state. So if someone asks you fraction and average, if someone asks you average oxidation state on Br, it will be plus 16 by 3, nearly how much? 3 5 is 15, 5 point something, है ना? Simple. Last one for today's class, 1, 2 more we will do. See. Na2S4O6. Now find. It is known as sodium tetrathionate ion. Sodium tetrathionate. Find in this. Write the answer for sulfur. For sulfur, find. For sulfur, find. For sulfur. See? See how I am solving this. You have to solve this better. These only will come. Most probability of these. See, you can solve by X or you can solve by structure. If you know the structure how to make, then you can solve. If you don't know the structure, you can solve by X. See how to solve by X. See, oxidation twice into oxidation state of sodium plus 4 times into oxidation state of sulfur और 4s का कितना होगा है ना plus 6 times into oxidation state of oxygen will be how much? Total charge 0. You know oxidation state of sodium is always +1. So 2 into +1 plus 4 into oxidation state of sulfur, you take X. You take X. Then plus 6 into oxidation state of oxygen is always -2 oxides. Whenever you have oxide, sodium tetrathionate, it is an oxide. Then so 2 plus 4x plus 6 into -2 will give you 0. 4x minus 12 plus 2 will give you 0. 4x is equals to plus 10. So from here you came to know that 4 sulfurs if I add 4s, 4 sulfurs, 1 sulfur, 2 sulfur, 3 sulfur, 4 sulfur. 4 sulfurs will have total charge how much? Plus 10. But average oxidation state will be how much? X is equals to 10 by 4, which is how much? 5 by 2. Then if this is 5 by 2, which is average, but I am asking on every sulfur. I am asking on every sulfur. कैसे पता करेंगे? See, sulfurs are which group? Group number 16. Group number 16. And their range of oxidation state, we have learned, their range of oxidation state of group number 16 is -2 to +6. -2 to +6. So they can have here -2 to +6. And I have to make total how much? I have to make 10 here. I have to make how much total? 10 total. I have to make 10 total. So I can have this possibility I can have this possibility how I can make 10. I can have here plus 5, 0, 0, plus 5. See? So if I do the total plus 5, 0, 0, plus 5, oxidation state total will be 10. 4x will be 10 total. And how I can make from here, how I can make structure from here? How I can make structure from the each of the sulfur oxidation state. See this sulfur is 0 oxidation state. If this is 0, this means it is not attached to any oxygen. It is attached to single, same like sulfur sulfur. This is also attached to sulfur sulfur. So these two sulfurs are attached to sulfur, no oxygen on these, therefore 0 oxidation state, elemental. Done. Last one, see these two are plus 5 oxidation state. How I can make plus 5 here? By adding 2 oxygen on this. This will make me plus 4 and 1 oxygen here. Similarly, here also if I want to make 1 oxygen here. Now I am left with 2 hydrogens. 2 sodiums I am left with 2 sodium. So how to make 2 sodium? You make here negative, you make here negative, you add sodium positive, you add sodium. So if I break these bonds, sulfur here will be plus 5, here also sulfur plus 5, but these two sulfur will be 0 and 0. Understanding or not? So with the help of X method, I can go to structure of any compound. I can go to structure of any compound if I don't know the structure of. Understanding or not? Write yes or no in the chat box. Write yes or no. So this is the structure of sodium thiocyanate. This is the structure of sodium tetrathionate. Sodium tetrathionate. Then now next one find S2C. Next one find S2C H2SO5. H2SO5. Find oxidation state of sulfur. H2SO5. Find oxidation state of sulfur. Right answer in the chat box. Beta, if you Aparna beta, one question she has asked, if we sir, can we take plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, then make structure from that. You will come to know. Make structure from that, which is also plus 10. Yes, beta. Do this. In the last, I will answer. In the last 5 minutes, I will answer, beta. See here how to do. 2 times of oxidation state of hydrogen plus 5 times of oxidation state of oxygen will give you 0. This only you can do. So 2 times of oxidation state of plus sulfur also. Oxidation state of sulfur will give you 0. Hai na? So 2 times of oxidation state of hydrogen, you know, plus 1. 5 times of oxidation state of oxygen, you all know it should be -2 plus x is equals to 0. So x came out to be here how much? कितना आया भाई? +8. This is not possible. Sulfur, see, sulfur has how many electrons? 3s2, 3p4 in valence electrons. है ना? 3s2, 3p4. So how can it remove 8 electrons if it has 6 electrons in valence? है ना? So this is not possible at all. Something might be different here. कुछ तो है इसमें लोचा, है ना? This only is known as Carros acid. H2 SO4 SO5 H2 SO5 is known as Carros acid. See difference. What is the difference here? You have taken, what is the mistake here? You have taken oxidation state of 5 oxygen all to be -2, which is not correct. Which is not correct. See, in Carros acid, what is there? In Carros acid, you have 2, you have S. See, out of these 4 oxygen, 1 oxygen is peroxide bond, and rest 3 oxygens, H2SO5. H2SO5, rest 3 oxygens are simple oxide. So this is -2, but O2, 2 minus should come. O2 peroxide में क्या होता? O2 2 माइनस. सो यहाँ पर टोटल चार्ज 2 माइनस है इसके ऊपर. सो नाउ यू ऐड हाइड्रोजन +1 सल्फर x, 1 + x + 2 ऑक्सीजन का -2 चार्ज, 2 ऑक्सीजन का -2 चार्ज विच इज नोन एज peroxide. 2 ऑक्सीजन का. अब सिंगल ऑक्सीजन का -2 ऑक्साइड. So 3 into -2 will give you 0. 3 into -2, 3 times -2. Understand, here only 1 time -2, here 3 times -2. So now from here x will come -2 -6. So x will come how much here? Check. कितना आया भाई? Check, 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 check. Check. Here 2 should come, beta. 2 times of hydrogen, 2. 2 here, 2 and 2 goes, x will become +6. So x is how much? +6. So how I can make +6 on sulfur? How I can make +6 on sulfur? You can have 2 oxygens. You can have 2 double bond O, double bond O. So you will have +4. Now you have to add 1 peroxide. O peroxide and H. And 1, this will give me, these peroxide will give me how much charge? These peroxide will give me +1 charge, +2. These peroxide will give me +2 charge, +1 charge, +1 charge, and these OH will give me also -1 and +1. So total sulfur will be +4 from these 2 oxygens and +1 from peroxide and +1 from OH. So total will be +6. This is from the structure, beta. This is from the structure. So you should know in Carros acid, all the oxygens are not -2. All oxygens are not -2 charge. And there is 1 peroxide bond. Just remember. Homework I will give you for today. Homework, right? CrO5 structure. है ना? Oxidation state find and structure find. Oxidation state and structure. Second one, K3CrO8. K3CrO8, K3CrO8 also oxidation state and structure you have to find. Only for those who have the spirit to do heavy questions. This is only for those. Those who don't have the spirit, they can sit at home and enjoy. Don't worry. So with this, we will end our today's class. We'll stop the recording.